Hello, everyone. I'm Larry Ridley. You're tuned into the NFL on EA Sports. Two teams will need their quarterbacks to step up and lead their offenses on the gridiron today. It's Dalton's Bengals going up against Newton's Panthers. With that, we'll send it over to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis. They've got the call in this Week 5 matchup.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL takes us to the Carolinas and Bank of America Stadium here in Uptown Charlotte. Tonight we start Week 5 with a primetime matchup between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Carolina Panthers. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. Now a first carry for Giovanni Bernard. And he's not going anywhere to start the night. They stop him at the line of scrimmage. Nothing on that one. It'll be second down. And the offense trots out onto the field.
And A.J. Green is an absolute playmaker on the perimeter for his team.
It's second down. Dalton looking. Under heavy pressure, and down goes Dalton on the sack. K1 short, able to collapse the pocket and drop him for a loss of a yard. Little trouble thus far on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 11. Third down, a shot here for Dalton. Boyd's the target, and he has it over the middle. Okay, look at this. The punt team nowhere to be found. They're on the sidelines. Offense going to go for this on the opening drive. And now we get a timeout called on the defensive side of the ball by the Panthers. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. With it is Jackson. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Panthers will get it here as they take possession. Now a play fake here on first down. And he finds a man with a crossing route. 15 yards through the air and a first down. Boy, the evolution of the game and how these guys in plays like that can get out of the pocket, keep plays alive, it just makes things so much harder for defenses.
It really does, and we're talking about an era in the game where the quarterbacks are the most athletically gifted that we've seen in a bunch. I mean, when you talk about collectively, it's unbelievable. So their ability to move is practiced now. It's not necessarily, oh, he just took off and you guys figure it out. When he takes off, everyone knows where to go now. They know how to run routes, change things, make themselves presentable for the quarterback. That's a lot of time that they put in on it. It's not just your static 1, 2, 3. This is where the ball goes anymore.
2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give them a new set of downs.
2nd and inches is oftentimes. And then
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Geno Atkins in there to bury him for a loss of 11. Well, they were coming out of the 4-3 defensively. Pressure coming off that right side from the DN.
And that's the blind side of most quarterbacks. If you're right-handed, that's the side you don't see quite as well. And that's why you rely on your left tackle, maybe your highest-paid offensive lineman, to take care of you. In this situation, that didn't happen. There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he is going to lose yardage here. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Frankly, Brandon, we're talking about things I'm not sure we ever thought we'd talk about in the NFL, and a lot of that is the speed at the linebacker position. A lot of these guys in college, they were safeties. They moved them up to outside linebacker to combat the spread offense.
He's got it for a Panther touchdown. Their dangerous wide receiver. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Panthers are going to take a first-quarter lead. And it's up and good. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
And all the way down to the 42. A big play there for Cincinnati. 41 yards.
Coaches really don't care from what position they get this, but run after the catch ability, rack ability, is often the difference between winning and losing and changing field position.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Shift together here from the D-line.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
And 15 yards there on the catch and run.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy. And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He had told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there, you know, kind of like put up on the top shelf where the kids can't get it.
And he's got his big tight end, Eifert, and it's a Bengal touchdown. Tyler Eifert, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Bengals are an extra point away from tying up this football game. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 20. At the 24-yard line. Carolina getting set to take the field. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. Offense readies for a 2nd and 1. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. They got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs.
Love the run right there, and when you analyzed him coming out of college, when you tried to put a grade on him, you saw the flashes while he was in school, but you didn't see the full production. You didn't see the finished product. He's a little bit raw, but you can see why people liked him. Those types of runs make you think there's plenty more there, and we'll see if that continues for him.
The play clock's running down. From the 50, Newton. And unable to connect on the long pass. It falls down incomplete. Kelvin Benjamin has to be a feature of this offense that's on your screen now.
Definitely a #1 receiver, a huge target with some speed. It's almost like go-go gadget when he goes up to get the football. No matter how you defend him, he can go just a little bit higher.
They'll run it now out of the gun. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. And the Bengals starting defensive unit now.
When you play against Carlos Dunlop, you have to think protecting your passer. He knows how to get upfield and rush the quarterback.
Throwing on third down, Newton. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
And they're going to at least line up to go for it here on fourth down. They snap it to Newton. He's got his man on the crossing route. 22 yards on the pickup there. And they're able to pick up the conversion here on fourth down. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything underneath. But still, at some point in the game, you probably have to make some contested catches, right? Sometimes you have to go up and beat a defender for the football. He has that in his arsenal as well.
Showed it right there. With my good friend Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin with you. It's the Panthers in possession of the football as we begin quarter number 2. And they're driving, but they come up on a 3rd and short here. They're trying to keep the drive going. This will be play number 8. It's 3rd and 2. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives them a new set of downs. All week in practice, they stressed grounding, pounding the football, and they really executed it well there to get the first down.
That usually means getting back to being physical in practice, because when you emphasize pounding the football, it doesn't really come together unless you practice it the same way you're going to play it in the game. So that means more bodies, more pads, and a whole lot of popping last week, and they got it done in the game.
They come up in an offset eye, and they'll go with a ground attack here. And he is in. Touchdown, Carolina. A great effort there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And his guys are able to strike for 6. And he was excellent on that drive. He deserved to be the one to get across the chalk.
Oh, I agree with you totally. A workhorse on the drive, and how about that last decisive run to punch it in?
That'll be taken in the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. And out now, here come the Bengals. Last time they were out, they scored. Still trailing here, though, so some work to do.
but it's okay in terms of mindset. Because they scored the last time, they're not quite as worried about being down on the scoreboard because now their confidence is a little bit higher. They feel like they've got something going, and they feel like they can attack again and put more points on the board.
Are you scoreboard watching if you're the offense, or are you just focused on this drive?
We wouldn't be telling the truth if we said that they didn't scoreboard watch. Everyone does it to some extent. But you've got to set it aside right now and just focus on this series. That'll take care of the scoreboard if they punch it into the end zone.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Fakes the give to Bernard. Dalton. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. They send Green to the left on his own. Third down from the gun. Dalton. And able to find Green. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first. So we have now seen connection number one between Dalton and Adriel Jeremiah, A.J. Green.
Say that again.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. That one will set him back nearly 10 yards here on first down on the sack. They come out here in the eye. Second down, Dalton. He gets this one to Boyd. And he takes this one all the way across midfield into enemy territory down to the 40-yard line. Nice completion there for Andy Dalton. Charles, you worked some of his games when he was at TCU. Now you've worked his games in the NFL. What progression have you seen?
I've seen a guy who took over as a freshman in college and got better and better each year. Always added a little bit more to his game, gets stronger. But the best part about him is he's always been accurate.
Second down following the incompletion. And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. Now a carry for Bernard. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4. This will be the 8th play of the drive here. 3rd and 4.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
Again, here's Bernard. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
The defense won that play so fast that I think if the running back even had time to notice if anyone was there, it was just a blink of an eye, and there was a loss on the play.
And no move to get the offense off the field. They're going on 4th and 5. They'll try to pass on 4th down. Dalton. And it is incomplete. The Bengals try it, but it doesn't work out. And the Panthers will get the football back. And onto the field, here come the Panthers. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
Big Geno Atkins there to bring him down.
Well, they held him to a short gain on that one, and it almost felt like on that first run, they were trying to just throw the jab at him. So how do you stop a jab? Get closer and smother it, just as they did on that last play.
They fake the give. Newton. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. And that one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to swing the tight end free downfield for the completion.
Give him 13 on the pickup there. And that leads to a Carolina first down.
You don't have to be a finished product to show some pretty good glimpses of what could be in this league, and we just saw an example of it on that nice run there. And I looked at him coming out of college. I saw a guy with raw terrific ability. And I couldn't wait to see how it was going to be harnessed and polished up in the NFL. In fact, some people thought he could play a little slot receiver as well as run the football. This guy has the ability to be a big-time player with more seasoning.
And now we're circling here around the 2-minute warning.
This is a setup play, trying to get one last one in before the clock warning. When you see zone defense and you know you got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
2 minutes remain here in the first half. Back with more from Charlotte after this. To throw on second down is Newton. And this is caught at the 8. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. And the offense moving quickly to the line. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
And to give this time to the tailback. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. They get 3 yards closer, but still work to do. It's 3rd and goal.
And a nice job defensively to keep him out of the end zone. He was trying to get his second touchdown already in the first half.
They had that one earlier, was bidding for a second. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he takes it into the end zone for a Panthers touchdown. A great play there with his second touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Panthers add on to their lead. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. The Bengals offense now, they head back onto the field. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave them great field position, turned it to 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on 4th down.
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
Dalton throwing on second down. He's going to let this one into double coverage, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line. Carolina getting set to take the field. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch, counter punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
You love pressure.
I love it.
We'll see if they dial it up this drive. 2nd and 10, Newton again. And he comes back with one complete. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. On 1st down, Newton being chased out left. Throwing left side, it's complete. He got 29 yards that time. We often, with Cam Newton, talk a lot about his legs. Don't forget about that arm.
He can throw it on a rope. He can loft it. He's got the touch that's been developed throughout his career. But the big part about just watching him throw it, it seems almost effortless.
And incomplete. He dropped it in the end zone.
After all the preparation, all the practice, a play like that will absolutely break your heart. They had everything they wanted, just unable to complete it in the end zone. A big-time drop.
And Gano's kick is right through. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Out come the Panthers. They'll have it first on offense in the third quarter. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Now a play fake, and it's Newton. He's got time. Benjamin with it over the middle. And he's brought down after a good gain. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Brandon, that play ended so fast, it's almost as if the quarterback handed it to the runner, and the tackler was there right away for a loss of yardage.
Defense really showing respect to the deep ball here, playing off the receivers. They'll fake the handoff. Now Newton. And he fires one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Dalton gives to Bernard. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up. They'll run again with Bernard. And he's brought down. A nice pickup there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Well, so much for him being bottled up throughout the day. Finally finds a way to break through and get a really nice gain. The defense had felt great about what they had going. Now they've got to turn their attention to getting it back in that direction. Can they bottle him up again? Because I'd say after that run, confidence is pretty high for him.
They'll run it here with Bernard. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. And quickly they get to the line. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to bring this one down to right about the 20-yard line. 9 good yards there on the run, and now third down.
But you've got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a second and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to third and manageable with that run.
It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain. Well, as the play call comes in on third down, you have to think about 4-down territory here. Down a few touchdowns, they need points, and they need big points.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
So the myth has been shattered. Every cornerback in the league is not just a cover corner. Some of them will stick their nose in there and make plays exactly as we just saw there. A big loss suffered by the offense after that nice tackle.
They come out here in the eye, and they'll run it here. And he takes it into the end end zone. Touchdown, Bengals. A great effort there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Bengals are able to cut into this lead. The kicking team out now for the Bengals as they'll send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Carolina getting set to take the field. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
He's brought down by Duke Williams.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. Geno Atkins in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. So a big sack on 2nd down. Now let's see what the offense has in store for 3rd. 3rd and long. It's Newton. Eluding the pressure right. Going to throw right side here. Complete. And he's eventually brought down, but not before he reaches the 39, just shy of the 40.
Well, the advantage has certainly shifted to the defense as we began that 3rd down play, and they found a way to foil it and pick up a 1st down.
3rd time's a charm, right? 2 incompletions. Had to have it on 3rd, and they got it.
Yeah, they stuck with it, weren't daunted at all, and picked it up.
6 yards on the pickup, and it'll bring up a 2nd down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. And he got half of what he needed there, 2 yards. And it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things. But the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
They were full scale, loose, flexible, finding a way to catch the ball in some traffic for a key 1st down.
Yeah, really a nice job of adjusting to the ball in the air. Not the most accurate of throws, but able to adjust and make the grab. They'll run it now out of the gun. And down inside the 35, he goes to the 32-yard line. And we're back now in Charlotte. It's the Panthers out in front and in control of the football as well as we begin quarter number 4. 2nd down following the run. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is going to lose yardage here. It'll be a loss of 1, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. They're trying to keep the drive going. This will be play number 8. It's 3rd and 2. Off play action. Newton rolling to his right. Able to find Harris. Complete. And 15 yards there on the catch and run. He's played a great game. It continues right there, even with this lead. Confident to throw the pass and have the reception made.
There's no doubt who the leader of their team is there? There's no doubt who they want to ride all the way to the finish. Because strategy would tell you, run the football, run the clock down. Instead, they're letting him throw it because they feel that confident in what he's getting done.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he will take it across for a Panthers touchdown. A great play there with touchdown number 3 in the game and 6 on the year. And the Panthers are able to grow their lead. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. And they're going to need another score. Got one last time, but still down here.
When you're playing catch-up, every possession becomes crucial, doesn't it? It's vital. Get back out on the field, punch it in the end zone again. They know it's not easy, but what they do have going for them, they did score the last time. They think they've got a good formula working.
And what about the defense?
Well, now you're just saying to yourself, okay, give up a score last time. What adjustments do we need to make to slow them down now and get the ball back for our own offense? Is it more pressure? Is it more zone? What do they have to do? They're trying to figure that out themselves.
We'll see if they can figure that out right here.
When you're putting together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game. Controlling the line of scrimmage, attacking, and changing everything so that now they're playing in the offense's backfield. They're playing an excellent game.
Looking deep downfield. A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. Carolina getting set to take the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really looked clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. And in this situation with the lead, fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line. Sometimes those lines that are drawn on a grease board or in a playbook, they come to life out on the field, don't they? And we just saw down that outside handoff to the right.
That right tackle, he gets excited for that call, doesn't he?
He does, because he just wants to dominate his guy and say, listen, I was the point of attack.
And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Carolina. Their dangerous wide receiver with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And thanks to the interception, the Panthers offense cashes in with 6. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. Now this Bengals offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Flush to his right. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. He was looking for his favorite target, A.J. Green, that time. And that'll bring up 2nd down. They send Green to the left on his own. 2nd and 10. Dalton once more. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. So a 2nd down incompletion now brings up 3rd down. 3rd down, a shot here for Dalton. Green with a catch left side. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. The Panthers are going to take another timeout. That's going to leave them with just one remaining here in this 4th quarter. Here's Brian Anger now. On for his 2nd punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. Gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Here's Jackson. Nearly a huge return, as it is still a very good one. 24 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, he didn't make headway on that one, but he's had plenty of carries all night long. I just wonder if maybe he's a little bit tired from toting the rock that much.
Tight, watch left. Tight, watch left.
On 2nd down, here's Newton. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked off by Duke Williams. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Now Bernard. And he powers his way up past the 30. Give him 5 yards there, and it'll bring up 2nd down. And now they're in the hurry-up.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
And he'll get this up to about the 40. 9 good yards there on the run, and now 3rd down.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
The Panther rush too strong. They get there and take him down. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up 2nd. Boy, he came in off the edge so quickly there.
Look out, because that's exactly what it was being shouted by the offensive lineman to his quarterback, because
Bernard churning, and he lost the football. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble.
All I can say about this play is that someone's living right. I mean, he's trying to gain yardage, trying to get upfield. Ball comes free. What's that panic that we've talked about oftentimes that you feel when you lose the ball?
You can sense it.
Oh, you can sense it. And somehow he got to it and was able to recover it for his squad.
3rd down from the gun, Dalton. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line. Carolina getting set to take the field. They have the big lead here late. They protected their home turf well, didn't they?
They certainly did, partner. And just think about how good that feels, because every team has a goal when they start the year to win at home. All right, and sometimes you don't win all of them, but they managed to get that done today. Just think about your routine stays the same. Everything's familiar. You feel right going into the game, and they translated that into a win.
They did indeed. They protected the home field, and now the final stages. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Newton. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And, oh, not only did he drop it, he dropped it in the end zone.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
To throw is Newton. Gets it to Benjamin. It's caught. The 12 yards that time and picking up the first.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. 1st down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation. That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
And he can't hang on. That's definitely going to be one he wishes he had back. Incomplete in the end zone.
when teams take shots at the end zone, you've got to defend it the same way you would defend the first down sticks. You defend the goal line exactly the same way. They can't cross that. You play through the receivers. On that play, that's exactly what they did and batted it away.
It'll be a gain of 16 and give them a first down as well. And now the offense operates in the red zone. Throwing here, Newton. Escaping the pressure right. And it looks like he'll be just a yard shy of the 5 here as he's out at the 6. It's a gain of 5, and it'll be a second down.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line.
But that certainly felt like an example of a defense just saying, okay, we've had enough. We've gotten mashed all night long. About time we got a good play in. But flip it over to the offensive side. They've got to be really upset that they allowed a play like that to happen. They were pitching such a great game, they want to keep it going.
Play action. It's Newton. And he will score. Touchdown, Panthers. Cam Newton with his 3rd touchdown of the ball game, number 12 on the season. And the Panthers just continue to pour it on. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll probably wish he reconsidered here. It'll cost him 10 yards now with a new rule as he's down at the 15-yard line. So now the Bengal offensive unit back out onto the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. Well, Charles, I don't know what you want to call this, a blowout, a laugh, or whatever it is. This was not a game.
And I believe that you saw this coming early, identified it right in the beginning of the game, and it played out that way.
Well, and it did. And for this team, just a lot of confidence coming away from this one.
Confidence for them. For the other team, though, boy, what a dismal, dismal day.
So for Carolina, they move back over 500 at 3-2 now on the year. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week where they take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Meanwhile, for Cincinnati, they'll fall to 1-4 with a loss. And they'll try to make amends next week as they host the Cleveland Browns. That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter at EA Madden NFL. The Panthers are winners here as we say so long from Charlotte.